Continental soldiers expected both rations, basic foodstuffs like bread and meat, as well as a number of luxury goods to be available for purchase. The Continental Army, much like provincial service back during the French and Indian War, relied upon sutlers to provide these everyday luxuries. Sutlers acted as merchants and mobile tavern keepers, buying up chocolate, coffee, tea, cheese, tobacco, sugar, and soap that were expected as part of life in British North America. By transporting these goods to where soldiers had pent-up demand, sutlers stood to make a tremendous profit. With the potential to gouge soldiers for prices and the sale of wine and spirits, the Army took a keen interest in regulating sutlers. While en route to take command of the Northern Department at Ticonderoga, General Philip Schuyler issued general orders respecting sutlers. These July 17, 1775 orders dictated when and how sutlers could sell liquor to soldiers. They fixed prices for key commodities and placed sutlers under the same system of military law as officers and soldiers. In return, sutlers received support from the Army, especially in the transportation of goods, including the trip down Lake George and Lake Champlain as the Northern Army moved into Canada. When Schuyler departed Ticonderoga on December 2nd, his orders to New York Colonel James Holmes included that Mr. Jones and his wife could remain as the sutler to the garrison of Ticonderoga. This was provided he continued following orders for the prices of common rum and common cordials, Jamaica rum, Madeira wine, and Geneva, or gin. The sutlery of Mr. Jones and his wife were even allowed to move inside Fort Ticonderoga as winter weather set in. The considerable cost of transporting and housing a sutler was offset by providing these important commodities to soldiers at a fair price. After all, extra taxes upon items like tea, chocolate, and rum from around the British Empire had helped spark the American Revolution in the first place. The cost to provide these extra comforts to soldiers at Ticonderoga was small in comparison to the cost of getting basic rations to soldiers in Canada. As the Continental Congress set to raising soldiers for 1776, they established the Continental Army's ration on November 4, 1775. Even as Ticonderoga was the end point for the goods sold by Mr. Jones, it was just one link in the chain that kept the American Army in Canada alive. Even for a dwindling army of 700 at the gates of Quebec City by January, each pound of flour, salted meat, or peas that were to reach this army had to travel by a chain of horses, oxen, and sleds, ascending along the Hudson River and descending Lake George, Lake Champlain, and the Richelieu and St. Lawrence rivers. Through the depths of winter, these could travel on sleds across the ice. Many of the same drivers, like John Becker, who helped haul cannons to Boston with Henry Knox, continued to serve the Continental Army, pulling supplies north with teams of horses and oxen. With spring on the horizon, the challenge of feeding the Army would only get harder. There would be a point when the ice was too weak to cross, but too strong for boats to pass through. By May, Schuyler estimated to George Washington that it would require 120 barrels departing Albany daily, with 825 soldiers to convey the daily ration for a 10,000-man army in the north. Yet Schuyler, Washington, and the Continental Congress agreed that victory in Quebec hinged both on getting soldiers northward and keeping them fed once they arrived.